you can run a property report first on a property. And what you can do is you can create a quote from that property report. So if you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to pull over that owner information. It's going to pull over that property address. It's also going to pull over the property taxes. So that'll help make the quotes a little bit more accurate. It's going to pull that over to the prorations, whether it's that seller quote or the buyer quote. Also on the buyer quote, if you have that sale with mortgage, it's going to pull that over to that payment breakdown as well. So just again, just helping make that quote a little bit more accurate. So you've got a couple different ways that you can search for a property. If you know the address, you can just start typing that in. You can see it thinks I'm in New York here. Here we go. We start seeing some addresses. So if I select this address, it's just going to take me right to that property address there. And I'm going to see that owner info. I'm going to see some information about the home. If there's a Google Street View, it's going to take me right to there. You can also do advanced search. So if you're not sure necessarily maybe of that street number, maybe you want to look it up by owner name, you can always come in here. You can search through advanced search. And then what you'll see here is it's going to give you a map. So you can either select your property address over here on the right, or you can click on one of these map buttons and you can see that's not the property I want because it'll show the little street view of it here. So you can always come down here, look through the map, and find your properties that way as well. So now if I want to go over here, you can see again, it's just going to take me into the zoom of those properties. So let's just choose this one. All right, so here you can see not a lot of information about this particular property. I could still move forward with doing a property report. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all of these. And I'm going to generate this report. And when I generate the report, it'll give you some defaults here for comps. So you can always go out further if you wanted to. Maybe we wanted to increase this a little bit. You can change some of these defaults for this particular property. And then it'll let you know if there's any comps that were found. So you can see here it didn't find any. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. We'll come back over to that other property. When this is running the search here, if it didn't find a property report, for example, it's just going to let you know. So this one's telling us the tax map's not available for this report. Say, okay. These reports are saved for 24 hours. So during that time, you can always come back and you can view any of these reports here. You can also download them or print them from here. This also is going to have your co-branding on them, and it'll have yours on the cover page. It'll also have it on each individual page. So we can see here, here's a report. It gives us information about the market value, gives us some property tax info here. If it did find comps, then that would be something that you can export as well from here. This one did find neighbors. So this is something you can export just to help with some of that farming and marketing. You can get a list of those surrounding neighbors. It'll give you the owner names. It'll give you those property addresses. So that's also something that you can do here. This one had a transaction history. So it gives me some information about the different types of documents recorded against the property, and then here are neighbors. This one looked like it also had schools, so it gives us information about the schools as well. And then here's where you can actually create your quote. So I could just go ahead and I could say, yeah, I wanted to do a seller net sheet. It's going to pull that information over there for me so I can see there's my address. Here I can come over and I can say this is a sale with mortgage. I wanted to put in my sale price. I'm going to put in that closing date here. And then when I come over to calculate, I can see there's my taxes. So you have them broken out into the two different sections. So just depending on when they're due or when they're paid, you can always remove one if you wanted to. And then you could go ahead on to calculate. So you can see that it'll pull over. So you'll just generate the property report first, and then you can create the quote from there. And it'll pull over all that information here for us. All right. So I'm going to come back home. I'm going to go back over to